Hey all, how are you? Welcome back. Jackson M. Haskell here. So the video coming after is on December 4th. We're going to be talking about Goosebumps Series 2000's Book 8, which is really cool. And at this video coming on December 3rd, which we're filming right now, we're talking about Monsters Season 2 overview. I'm pleased to announce on December 9th, we're going to be covering Monsters Season 3 overview. And here we go. Monsters Season 2 Episode 1 is called The Face. It was directed by Alan Coulter, written by Benjamin Carr, October 1st, 1989. Redneck Brothers, Raymond, played by Gregory Grow, and Clip, played by Gary Roberts. Attempt to rob an old woman, played by Imogen Kuka, which is cool. In the dead of night, when she cries out for help, Raymond covers her mouth. She proceeds to bite Raymond's hand, prompting Raymond to kill her. That night, the wound morphs into a face of an old woman, and it begins to talk to Raymond, tormenting him for his crimes. Raymond can't bring himself to cut out his face alone, so ask for Cliff's help. Disastrous results. Miss Imogen Kuka, known for playing Sid Caesar on Your Show of Shows, which is cool. Okay, next episode, episode 2, Portrait of an Artist, directed by Gerald Kotz, written by D. Keith Mano, October 8th, 1989. Private investigator Roger Darcy, played by Beeson Carroll, and is introduced to art gallery owner Hubert Pocock, played by Darren McGavin. Darcy discovers that Pocock's gallery consists of life-size, three-dimensional sculptures of people reported missing, hanging from the walls in tormented positions, including missing daughter Penny, played by Cheryl Russell. Suspecting that Pocock is a serial killer, Darcy attempts to play psychological mind games with him to gain a confession. Unknown to Darcy, however, the truth is much worse than he can comprehend. Mr. McGavin, don't recognize him, but he sadly would have passed away in 2006. He played Mickey Spillane in Mickey Spillane's Mike Hammer, and starred in Riverboat and Kolchak Night Stalker, and also recurring role in Murphy Brown, which is cool. Next up, episode 3, Bond of Silk, directed by Ernest D. Freno, written by Michael Kimball, October 15th, 1989, which is cool. We'll play Oilman Nash, played by Mark McClure, and his new bride Portia, played by Lydia Cornell, arriving at Too Good to Be True honeymoon suite in the basement of a posh hotel. The pair discover that the room is actually part of a basement for an abandoned factory, and the bed is a hammock in the shape of a spider's web. The dim-witted Nash suddenly throws himself on the hammock and discovers that it is more than what it appears when he becomes stuck to it. When Portia becomes stuck as well, the couple try to free themselves before the couple's eight-legged spider arrives home. Mark McClure played Jimmy Olsen in Superman series of films from 1978 to 87, and Dave McFly in Back to the Future films, which is cool. Lydia Cornell, first time we're going to be seeing her here. Actress where she plays Sarah Rush on Too Close for Comfort, which is the ABC show, which is cool. Episode 4, Rerun, directed by John Auerbach, written by Peggy Haller and Bob Schneider, October 22nd, 1989. Allison, played by Rachel Jones, is an anthology student, is infatuated with deceased movie star Tony Sterling, played by Mark Nassar. And out of the blue, Tony appears in a room and pledges his eternal love for Allison. Allison's roommate Max, played by Mitchell Whitfield, insists that people don't just return from the grave, seeks out Sterling's old agent, Faye Ingram, played by Kay Ballard, for an explanation. Faye reveals that Tony was not only a talentless hack, also a Satanist, who played the same roles with numerous other women. Max also learns that Tony is actually a lamprey-like demon in disguise. He tries to save Allison before it's too late. Mr. Max, who's here, is played by Mitchell Whitfield, Barry Farber and Friends, Bruce Hampton in Minor Adjustments, and Stan Rosenthal and My Cousin Vinny, which is cool. Then Kay Ballard, don't recognize her. Sadly would have passed away in 2019, but I don't recognize her. Not in a lot of things I would recognize. But yeah, tonight starring Jack Pat, which is cool. Okay, episode 5, Love Hurts, directed by Manny Coto. We haven't seen Mr. Coto before. But yeah, Edith Swenson wrote it, October 29th, 1989. Mr. Coto, 24. He also worked in Dexter for the first 5th season. We have seen him Dr. Giggles, American Horror Stories, and Tales from the Crypt is why we would have seen him so far. But yeah, Vance, played by Henry Brown, a clerk at the DMV, regularly seduces a beautiful customer named Jewel, played by Olivia Brown. Vance's father-in-law, who works at the same office, routinely interrupts his attempts at lovemaking. Vance is also married to Cora, played by Ren Woods, who has a horrific skin condition and now seeks her way out to get out of her life. Meanwhile, Jewel is being taught voodoo by her friend Angie, played by Valentina Quinn. Together they kill Vance's father-in-law by stealing his breath. When Cora denies Vance any of her inheritance, he tries to break off with Jewel. Enraged, Jewel decides to kill Angie and uses what she taught her to conduct a ritual that binds Vance's soul to hers with sickening results. Olivia Brown, Trudy Joplin, and Miami Vice, which is cool. Ben Ren Woods, who plays Cora here. Fanta and Roots, and also performance on Aquarius, and Hair, and has Edie and Beauty and the Beast, TV series. Okay, episode 6. Sorry. Farmer's Daughter, directed by Michael Warren Powell, written by Kenneth Pressman, November 5th, 1989, which is cool. And a morbid twist on a classic joke, Ma, played by Bobo Lewis, and Pop, played by George Hall, while Howard Philby, played by Soupy Sales, an aging Bible salesman, entered her home when he crashes his car during a terrible thunderstorm. Philby is determined to spend the night, but must share a room on the 2nd floor with a parent's daughter, Lucy, played by Stephanie Phillips. Lucy has a beautiful voice, but Philby can only see her silhouette for the bedsheet dividing their room. When he convinces Lucy to lower a sheet, she turns out to be just as beautiful as expected. Little is Philby aware, however, not only does Lucy demand commitment from her lovers, but she also harbors a terrible secret. And this is a story based by Bob Balaban and Kenneth Pressman. Bobo Lewis, don't recognize her, but George Hall, a Canadian actor, sadly would have passed away. And Soupy Sales, comedian, Lunch with Soupy Sales, yeah. And Bob Balaban, he's a page here, director of over 3 films, including multiple TV show episodes. But yeah. Next up, we have Jar. Mr. Belle Gordon wrote this, directed it, and Peg Haller and Bob Schneider wrote it, November 1st, 1989. Mr. Hallett, played by Mr. Fritz Weaver, is the owner of a general store in a hotel near a swamp. He is visited by Jack Beeman, played by Richard Edson, a private investigator who is looking for a missing woman, but is last seen at the hotel. Jackman meets beautiful Anne Spiros, played by Gina Gershon, and her loutish but wealthy husband, George, played by Ed Covens, immediately attracted her. Hallett is actually selling small monsters, and he stores in large mason jars. When released in the light, creatures attack, killing in seconds, devour a victim. Solving Anne uses one of the creatures to kill her husband, allowing her and Bateman to have a night of intense passion. But can the two unethical persons trust each other? The episode features a film noir look and feel. It was based on a story by Sharon Stephen F. W. Davis. But yeah, Fritz Weaver, Child's Play. Wait now, we've seen it before. X-Files, Twilight Zone, No Way Out. We have Night Gallery, but yeah, Richard Edson, Ferris Bueller's Day Off, where he plays a garage attendant. Platoon, 8 Men Out, Do the Right Thing. Gina Gershon, one of her earlier roles, I feel like we've seen her. How to Make It in America. She was in Riverdale, where she plays Gladys Jones. Killer Joe, House of Versailles, Rescue Me, amongst other projects. And Ed Covens, Q, The Gambler, Pursuit of Happiness. Yeah. Next episode, we have Demons, directed by Scott Alexander and Larry Kazawak, who are a duo, and written by Martin Olson, father of Olivia Olson, and Robert Shockley, who's a writer. November 19th, 1989. A greedy and extraterrestrial sorcerer named Arturus, played by Richard Mole, attempts to summon a demon out. You command to bring him gold, or dross as he calls it, by using wrong ingredients during a summoning ritual. Arturus accidentally summons his dimensional counterpart, a work-obsessed insurance agent named Arthur Gamut, played by Jeff Silverman. Despite his initial confusion, Arturus demands that the just confused Jeff brings him the gold to avoid a lifetime in the cage while killing Arturus. Arthur convinces the sorcerer to send him back to Earth to get the gold. Once he returns, Arthur decides to summon his own demon in an attempt to free himself from Arturus' contract control. By repeating the same mistake Arturus made, Arthur manages to summon another dimensional counterpart, a meticulous and neurotic demon Arturo, played by Eddie Geeson. When Arthur and Arturo discover that they both share an obsession with insurance, they do agree to work together to stop Arturus and free themselves. Richard Mole, Night Court is where he kind of went on. He played Bull Shannon on that show. Also voicing Harvey Dent / She-Base in the DCAU and other Batman shows in that era. Like Edward Deason, Grease 2, Midnight Madness, I Want to Hold Your Hand, 1941, and War Games. But yeah. Okay, next one is Reaper. Gene Pandoa directed it, which Joseph Anderson wrote it. November 26, 1989. Mr. Ross, played by George Wallace, who's a really famous actor. A cankerous old man at a retirement home, tires of life and hopes to have to take him soon. He grows attracted to a kindly nurse, Sheila Brewer, played by Barbara Billingsley. After she helps him get a room that night, the Grim Reaper, played by Kurt Lothens, appears in Ross's room and attempts to take his soul. Terrified, Ross strikes a deal with the Reaper to deliver more souls to him in exchange for extended life. After Reaper appears short times in human disguise known as Dr. Morton, warning Ross to hold up his end of the bargain. Ross begins killing the residents of the homes who have their debts, all while trying to hide said debt from Sheila. Unknowns to Ross, he is an only resident to make a deal with the Reaper. This is a story based on a Robert Bloch story, which is cool. Mr. Wallace, New Girl in Town, opposite Gwen Verdon. We also have Barbara Billingsley. 3 Guys Named Mike, Bad and Beautiful, Invaders from Mars, Careless Years, which is cool. Next one, we're halfway, almost there. Almost. Mandrake Root, directed by Brian Thomas Jones, written by Harvey Jacobs. December 10th, 1989, a young woman named Angela, played by Beatrice Melba Smith, also known as Melba Moore, whose husband Jack, Frankie Faison, does not pay much attention to her, is cleaning out her house. A grandmother who died after 30 years as a recluse in her house's basement. Angela discovers a grotesque mandrake group spreading from the floor. There's been grandmother's ring on it. She pricks her finger on the root by removing the ring and discovers the next day that the root has taken care of a handsome, muscular, and sexually irresistible man, played by Byron Mins. Mandrake tells Angela needs to consume a steady supply of blood in order to keep its form, putting Angela a terrible choice to make and also leading her to discover the truth about her grandmother's death. Melba Moore's actress, don't really have not seen her. Frankie Faison, plays Irvin Burrell in The Wire, as Barney Matthews in the Hannibal Lecter franchise. Also, Sugar Bates in Banshee. Next up, Half as Old as Time. Christopher Todd wrote it, directed it, and Thomas Babe wrote it December 17th, 1989. Thomas Babe is a playwright. We have not seen it before. But yeah. Dr. Minor, played by Leif Garrett. An elderly archaeologist dying from a brain tumor begs his tomboy archaeologist's daughter, Jake, played by Valerie Wildman, to take him on the location of an ancient Native American spring presided over a statue of a snake god. The spring being rumored to actually be the fountain of youth. Jake does so, but she and her father are confronted by the guardian of the spring, a Native American shaman known as Saspinando, played by Nick Ramos. Saspinando tells the old man that a terrible price must be paid in order for the spring's waters to grant youth and immortality. Minor proceeds to kill his daughter and mixes her blood into the water, believing his sacrifice will pay the price. He discovers, however, there's another payment yet to come. And it's a story by Tina Goodrich and Jake West. Leif Garrett, former child actor, which is cool. Don't really recognize him. No, yeah, just a teen idol. And Jake Ramirez was a Blackfoot Native American actor, best known for his appearances on TV. Okay, we're almost there. Halfway down. Half this month. Museum Hearts, directed by Theodore Gersony and written by Theodore Gersony, January 7, 1990. Danny, played by Patrick Breen, is a sleazy, womanizing museum curator who is cheating on his fiancée, Edwina, played by Sarah Trigger, with a cafe waitress named Cheryl, played by Louise Roberts. Edwina discovers Danny's infidelity when she stumbles upon his attempts to have sex with Cheryl in the museum's basement, as it is under construction. All three people are unintentionally locked in for the night by the museum staff. To make matters worse, Danny accidentally awakens the mummified corpse of a 3,000-year-old Druid priestess, played by Pamela Dean Kelly, when he exposes it to the bloody handkerchief. Though Edwina, Mummy claims that she is the spirit of a woman herself. She was previously rejected by a lover in her past and enlists a woman's help to regain her youth and to seek ransom male Wathanos, starting with Danny. This was a story based by David Beavers, which is cool. And the Lothano is like a woman sympathizer. Patrick Breen, American actor. Yeah. Next one, we have Habitat, written by Betty Gordon, directed by Betty Gordon, written by David Morrell. First Blood he wrote. And a Rambo franchise, January 14th, 1990. Jamie Neal, played by Lil Taylor, which is cool, has signed up for an apparent psychological experiment. The other party she signed up with has agreed that Jamie is to spend 9 months in a plain room with a glowing triangular table in the center, completely alone, constantly monitored by the other party, and expected to comply with the demands in exchange for cooperation. The other party has promised enough money for Jamie to never work again without anyone to interact with. Jamie's boastful and independent attitude unravels and she begins to go insane. We have Lily Taylor, Misty Pizza and Say Anything, which he's kind of known for. Yeah. Our next one, we actually have a really famous actor, which is cool. Bed and Board, directed by Sarah Driver, and written by David Odell, January 21st, 1990. Miss Driver, independent film person. Jim Jimerson Films, which is cool. John Dennis, played by Steve Buscemi, is a traveling salesman currently staying in a sleazy motel. He's disturbed by the tenants in a room next door who pay to have a violent fight. He receives a threatening phone call from someone who wants him to leave, but then meets a beautiful Sue Weatherby, played by Jody Markel, who shows up at his door asking for help. She has been fighting with her brutish third husband, Ted, played by Charles K. Hoon, who has somehow been transformed into a monstrous and anthropomorphic pig and now seeks solace from Dennis. Being trapped as Sue, Dennis spends several hours making love to her. When Sue's porcine husband shows up and wants her back, Dennis defends her by stabbing Ted to death. Unfortunately for Dennis, Sue's husband isn't the only monster in our room. Really cool episode. Steve Buscemi, really famous comedy actor. I would say Parting Glances, Mystery Train, In the Soup, amongst other stuff, which is cool. Next one is Mr. Swabbler, directed by Warner Shook, written by Jules Selbo, January 28th, 1990. Young Ray Barton, played by Robert Oliver. His boss run by her abusive mother, played by Kate McGregor Stewart, and her loathsome teenage sister, Barbie, played by Danielle Ferland. He finds a prize in a cereal box that grows wisecracking. A vicious creature calls himself Swabbler, voiced by Rockets Redgear. When it's submerged in water, Swabbler makes a friend Roy, telling him that he gets bigger, more liquid, because lick him up. He consumes and playing tricks Roy's mom and sister in an attempt to protect Roy from them. Thinking that Roy is a pet of some kind, Mrs. Barton decides to turn the hose on, whatever the creature might be. She knows little about Swabbly's liquid diet, Roy's unending appetite, and this is a story by Stephen L. Nelson, which is cool. Robert Oliver, who plays young Nick Slinkley in Honey, I Shrunk the Kids, which is cool. And Honey, I Blew Up the Kids. Kate McGregor Stewart, Wonder Park, which is cool. Danielle Ferland, Little Red Riding Hood, and Stephen Sondheim's Into the Woods on Broadway. And Rockets Rodriguez, just a comedy actor. After Hours and Desperately Seeking Susan. Okay. Number 16. Purchase to Dream, directed by Paul Boynton, written by Michael Reeves, February 4th, 1990. After standing up a blow to the head from a mugger, college student Alex, played by Raphael Sbarge, has discovered as nightmares have been manifesting in the real world. His book attacks him, a chair drips blood, a phantom train passes outside his doorroom, and a giant nun attempts to snack him with a ruler, amongst other bizarre occurrences. Seeing his son, Alex has been unable to sleep for days and he cannot leave his room, but risking his nightmares attacking innocent people. To curtail this, his girlfriend Megan, played by Sarah Buxton, who can also see nightmares, enlists Kyle, played by Kenneth Danziger, a professor of parapsychology, to offer some advice. Kyle suggests nightmares may result of Alex's blow to the head, which has damaged his subconscious and causes him to manifest his innermost hatreds and fears, which he must conquer to make nightmares go away. Taking note of this, Alex and Morgan venture in the confusing world of Alex's dreams, of it not by choice, to confront Alex's dream self head on. Raphael Sbarge, Jimmy Cricket / Dr. Archibald Hooper Once Upon a Time. David Mulk on Murder on the First. Jake Straka in The Guardian. Sarah Buxton, Sure Thing. Loveliness and Lesson Zero, which is cool. Okay, next up, One Wolf's Family, directed by Alex Zam. My Date, the President's Daughter, Tooth Fairy 2, Pooch and the Pauper, Dr. Dolittle, and written by Paul Dini of the Batman Animated Universe. February 11th, 1990, and this sitcom style story of Lupinizens, a family of werewolves who recently immigrated from Europe, tried to settle down in a new American neighborhood in spite of their tendency to kill and eat people. Family patriarch Victor, played by Jerry Stiller. Here's from his devoted wife, Greta, played by Anna Mira, and her daughter Anya, played by Amy Stiller, has gone engaged. While initially overjoyed at the news, Victor discovers that Anya's fiance, Stanley, played by Robert Klosky, is a werehina. This causes the bigoted to go furious and tirade against wire hyenas, calling it scavengers, peace on garbage and roadkill, and forbids his heartbroken daughter to marry Stanley. However, Lupiana's nosy and eccentric neighbor, Agnes Peabody, played by Karen Shale, something was wrong with the family next door. Husband is something foreigners. When she discovers that the family's iconic mannerisms, she enlists Stanley, thinking and the cop to kill them. Will Stanley be able to say the love is Brad to be and prove himself to the family? Jerry Stiller, really famous actor, Ben's dad. Married to Anna Muir, which is cool. Frank Costanzo. Anna Muir, former wife of Mr. Stiller. Sons Ben Stiller, Robert Colossi, HBO prison officer Oz, Sean Murphy from Oz, and Patrick Flaherty on Hill Street Blues, which is cool. Next episode, The Offering, directed by Ernest D. Ferrino, written by Dan Simmons, February 18th, 1990. Dan Simmons, Hyperion Cantos, Limpos, Cycles, which is cool. A young man named Lewis, played by Robert Krantz, is currently residing in a hospital, suffering a concussion after a bad car accident. His mother happens to be in the same room, suffering from cancer much like his late father, and according to the family doctor, Dr. Hubbard, played by Orson Bean, his prognosis is poor. That night, Lewis gets to his mother's room and witnesses a giant bug-like creature spawning its larvae into the mother's body. Lewis begins to believe that the cancer itself is all the creature's offspring attacking her body. Discovers that Hubbard might also be the creature in disguise. If it isn't enough, creatures are also attacking Lewis' hospital roommate, Jack Withers, played by Bob Larkin, also suffers from cancer. Are they canceled vampires a hallucination, brought by Lewis's injury, or are they real? And if they're real, how can he fight back against it? Orson Bean is a former talk show host, which is cool. Next one. Far Below, directed by Deborah Hill and written by Michael McDowell, February 18th, 1990. Deborah Hill, close working relationship with John Carpenter, which is cool. Dr. Rathmore, played by Barry Nelson, former James Bond actor, is a mechanical supervisor at obscure but essential subway unit of a major system of a major city, which he operates from underground offices. His men, Jensen, played by Rick Goldman, Luchinsky, played by Kelvin Levels, and Watson, played by Jane Monroe, were repairing audio and video cameras in the underground subway system, under siege by mysterious subterranean rat-like creatures that feed on human flesh. Accountant Alex Kritz, played by John Scott Clow, interrogates Rathmore to know why men are paid so highly, why the subway system is paid out of police detail budget, and why its budget is many times larger than any other city agency. When Kritz ultimately learns of the creature and that the save Rathmore wants to keep him under his absolute control, it means making the subway by and by extension himself. Leader's wealthy. Kritz has to choose either report Rathmore's findings to authorities or continue controlling creatures so that it won't reach suburbs. Regardlessly which opinion Kritz chooses, Rathmore is prepared to let him go easily. And this is based on a story by Robert Barbara Johnson, which is cool. Okay, so 4 more to go. Just Michael Minds, directed by Anthony Santo Croce. T. Emerson Smith wrote it, March 4th, 1990. And a whole bunch of 1950s movies. Dr. Thomas Becker, played by Troy Donahue, Johnny Hunter, and Summers Place. An astronomer, graduate student Paula, played by Belle Avery, has been in class. When Paula reveals she made contact with an alien race, noting that the source of communication seems to be nearby. Paula theorizes that the alien ship might be in Earth's orbit. Dr. Becker dismisses the claims and convinced of truth after he speaks to a voice which identifies itself as Ook, voiced by David Parmenter. Gawk reveals that you had come from a race of intelligent extraterrestrial microorganism that Paula's contained an aquarium. Dr. Becker realizes the Uma's government made him hard about fame, hopes to teach Gawk and their kind about the nature of Earth in the hopes of accelerating their evolution. Meanwhile, Paula becomes suspicious of Becker's motives and quits working with him. She becomes suspicious of Gawk's motives as well, as a mere renegade strand that has been threatening them makes itself known. Okay, we're almost there. Refugee, directed by Scott Vickery, by Haskell Barkin, May 13th, 1990. Paul, played by Mr. Peter White, a delusional former spy, is brought into retirement by Oliver Ferguson, played by Philip Abbott. Arthur Warden, FBI. Paul is tasked with retrieving Anna Selinsky, played by Judy Gleason, a Soviet psychologist who was on a run after protecting her nation. Paul and Anna make a run to safe house, but they are tracked down. Culprits that turn not to be KGB agents, but rather agents of the devil. One of the demonic agents, S.A. Gillis. A lot of Bible American poetry. Informs Paul that they must come to collect Anna's soul, as she is revealed to have been sold to the devil in exchange for a previous attempted escape from her homeland. With his information brought to light, Paul offers the agents his own soul in exchange for the save Anna's, promising life's choice as a spy will show just how valuable his soul will be. Okay. We got 2 more to go. Gift, directed by Jeffrey Rowe, written by D. Emerson Smith, May 20th, 1990. Sid Dolan, played by Abe Bogota, Sylvester Teslo in The Godfather, and Phil Fish in both Barney Miller and The Fish. And his partner, Kirby, played by Brad Greenquist, a pair of ruthless criminals, having kidnapped and neglected a rich kid, Jeffrey, played by Zachary Overton, and taking him to the mountains, hideout to hack. Hold him for ransom while searching the basement for blankets. After Jeffrey complains about the cold, the duo discovers a fairy beast born by Carlos Lucchesi, played by John Michael Bolger, who we've seen before, and a hideout cellar. Dolan removes it with a gun. Afterwards, the kidnappers chain Jeffrey and the beast next to each other. The beast mentally communicates with Jeffrey, explaining he's actually a selfless person named William, who is granted psychic abilities include telepathy and shape-shifting by an old man 200 years ago. When Jeffrey and William learn they are to be killed, William offers Jeffrey a way out and warns him that the choices are rather extreme. Okay, 2 more to go. Ranger Bargain, directed by Tom Newgan. Francis Dollarhide in Manhunter and Frankenstein's Monster and the Monster Squad, and also Cam and RoboCop 2, and written by Tom Noonan, May 27, 1990. Lonely bookstore owner Sarah, played by Kim Greist, is desperate to learn heart of a handsome TV repairman named Joe, played by Kevin Gear. She dials a phone number to a beauty ad she discovers in a 50-year-old magazine, and visited by Carmen, played by Sharon Sharf, Sharon Sharf, a young woman who with a disformed face. Carmen offers Sarah a chance to become beautiful with a magic mask. I'll give her a new face and insists her service comes with a price. Sarah's case, Carmen's price is rare books that she has spent her life collecting. Nonetheless, Sarah at least has a chance, puts on a mask, and attempts to adopt a new persona named Mandy. When she discovers Mandy may not really be the woman that Joe wants, she also discovers that Carmen has stolen her old face, and in doing so has stolen Joe's love for her, which is cool. Last episode of this season, Family Man, directed by Alan Coulter and Gordon Rayfield, written by Michael Warren Powell, June 3rd, 1990. In the home in which they live, Angie, played by Annie Corley, a single mother whose police father, husband died a year and a half ago, has recently begun dating a psychologist named Warren, played by Michael O'Gorman, while her teenage daughter Terry, played by Kelly Babke, is happy by Angie's new love. Her young son Neil, played by Kelvin Armitage, is not. He has also been prescribed new glasses, which he doesn't like, prompting him to wear his father's instead. Upon meeting Warren for the first time, Neil discovers that when he's seen his father's glasses, Warren is actually a reptilian monster with needle-like teeth that feeds off the emotions of human beings, gradually killing him in the process, and has done so to several other families in the area, so no one can see Warren's true form. Falls onto Neil to save him, which is cool. That is it for this season. Like I said, the video coming after this on December 4th, we're talking about Goosebumps Series 2000s, Book 8, which is cool. Next Let's Talk Horror, next season 3 of Monsters is December 9th, which is the final season, and I hope y'all enjoy. Bye-bye.